my transition from middle school to high school was interesting, to say the least.
My transition from middle school to high school was a little bit of both, exciting and a little scary because, you know, I have to readjust myself to a whole new crowd of people and different classes and teachers, and it was very, you know, I had to evolve again once more in my academic career.
Well, my transition from middle school to high school, it was very exciting because back then high school was like the thing to be in UCW high school because they had all these different activities like swimming. They had swim back then, and they had track and cheerleading and all the different activities. And with middle school, we only had dance, so I was kind of excited to be transitioning over to high school.
It was actually exciting because middle school wasn't my best years, academic and conduct-wise, behavior. Got in trouble. I was a troublemaker in middle school, so it was just great to see what I could do in high school.
Well, my transition from middle school to high school, it was a really big change. Like coming from middle school, it was like everybody was holding my hand along the way. Then it's when you get to high school, it's like they're letting you off on your own, and it's like nobody's gonna be there to hold your hand all the way. You're gonna have a little help, but it's like you gotta pave the way on your own. It's like you're maturing. You have to do this yourself.
Transferring from middle school to high school was really hard for me because, you know, I just came from Africa in 2011, and middle school I didn't have nobody to help me, and then high school it's like a higher grade, so it's like, okay, Mom, I need to get a tutor now. And coming here, I did actually a 2-week program before school actually started to get me you know, ready for high school. So that really helped a lot. But once like the first trimester started, I was like, okay, I can actually do this. Let's do this. Yeah.
I was really nervous on the first day of school. We were like more independent, and like in middle school we were kind of like more micromanaged, and it was like they told us everything to do. They told us where to sit, what we should do, what time, all of that stuff. But in high school it was kind of like you just know these things already, and you're supposed to just naturally do these things and follow them. But we were freshmen, so it was like kind of different.
I was nervous first day, just a whole bunch of older kids in high school, and it felt like a different responsibility I had in high school, anything in middle school. It felt like I was a leader when I actually got to high school.
On the first day of high school, I was feeling very confused, and I was just like, oh my God, there's so much going on. But once I got to like my first class and I started to, you know, sort of get into the flow of things, it started to feel better and more chill.
I was really nervous because I knew that like some people went to middle school together, and they knew each other, and I'm coming in here new, so it was like, okay, do I sit in the front, do I sit in the back of myself? Yeah.
My very first day of high school, walking through the doors, it was pretty scary, and I was really nervous. Like coming in, I came from a school from the suburbs, so it's like I transitioned to a high school. I knew nobody here. So on the first day of school, I was very quiet, very closed, not open to anything.
The first day of high school, I was very nervous because it was a big school and it was a lot of people, and I'm just one person. And I had my big book bag with me trying to find my classes and everything. And it was just a lot of people in the hallway. I didn't know what to do.
Being an 8th grader, it was kind of like, so they kind of breaking off, they kind of used to babysit us a little bit, but 9th grade it was kind of free, and we had to kind of be responsible for ourselves, make sure we did our own work. No one was really on us as much. We were basically responsible for our own futures.
The difference between 8th grade and 9th grade is that 8th grade, it was more like, 9th grade is more like freedom, having freedom. In 8th grade. 8th grade teachers were constantly on you about your assignments. 9th grade, they give you the syllabus and you had to complete the assignments by the due date, so that was kind of different for me because I was not used to that at all. I was used to people holding my hand and keeping track of where I am, what to do, and everything.
Probably trying to become more independent on my own because I was so reliant on my counselors and the teachers who I had in 8th grade. And yeah, it was kind of hard for me to become more independent and and I was very scared that I would I don't know, I was just very scared that I would fail or I would just do really bad.
The most difficult part of my transition would be coming in not knowing anybody. Because what makes high school the best is having good friends and people who love you and people who make you laugh and make you smile. So it's just not knowing anybody. I had to start over, but I made my way.
It was extracurricular activities, yeah. Because I wanted to do football and basketball so bad, but I had to fit that in with my, academic schedule to see if that would work. And it does affect your grades a lot if you can't manage both of them. So I had to have good time management. I had to do my homework on the bus after practice because if I got home, I was going to be too tired to do it. So I had to get it over on the bus, different things like that. Study on the weekends. Before practice starts after school, I would get some study time in, try to do some homework there. It's all about, creating time.
My most difficult part had to be responsibility. Learning how to manage my time wisely, between the class periods and also when I get home, homework. Because I was not used to annotating a full book, a whole 2-3 chapters in one night. I was not used to that at all. I was used to annotating a page.
The most difficult part of my transition from middle school to high school would have to be, I guess, thinking about my future. Yes, because I know that in high school, that's basically 4 years of you preparing for the rest of your life. So I felt the pressure more. I was like, okay, now this really, really counts toward my future. So that was the most difficult part, knowing how serious everything I did from now on would be.
I'd say definitely support from my friends. In a way, we all joked around and everything like that, but we all supported each other in a sense to make sure that we got things done.
So dance, I used to start this majorette program, and me and my best friend started it actually. So we had this majorette program every Thursday, Tuesday we would meet and we would make up a dance, and that'd give me relieve some stress from tests and quizzes and studying and everything like that. So.
It was just a small group of friends, somebody that I could trust, knowing these people. The emotional experience at times was daunting, but you get through it just having a social network, people you can rely on.
Teacher support was one of them. My 8th grade teachers, they still in the building with me, so they helped me stay focused with grades and things, and it's just motivation to what I have to go through school.
Well, something that helped a lot was we had the same counselors from 8th grade who followed us to our freshman year. So those counselors reassured me and were like, you're not even close to failing. You should not have that much of a fear. But I'm always have been really hard on myself, to always do better. I know I'm doing well, but I feel like I can do better.
Although I was scared to meet new teachers, I actually ended up having a great support system. So my counselors and teachers basically they were on me, had to make sure I was doing my work. They checked on me to make sure I was basically doing as much as I could for my success.
The best piece of advice would be help is the best thing you can get. Don't be afraid to ask for help, in classes, with anything in general, in life.
I would say don't be so nervous or shy. Yeah, because I'm very shy. Well, I was shy.
I would have told the younger me to relax for a minute. Always just take a moment to say, I'm here. I made it this far. I can keep going. Don't ever let yourself stop. You have to know when to step back and calm yourself down.
Everything's gonna be okay. Like, it's just the beginning. Things could be worse, things could be better, but you're doing all right. You're gonna be okay.
If I could give my younger self a piece of advice about preparing for 9th grade, I would tell her that it's okay to put yourself out there more. Because I've been told, and I myself know, that I'm very, nervous about a lot of things. Like, for instance, the essay, I had to, say it, recite it in front of the entire school, and I was like shaking so bad. I was so afraid. But then I did it, and everyone was like, "Oh, that was so great. I'm so proud of you." And I was like, okay, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Don't procrastinate, and also like find the right crowd to hang out with. Even if like in high school, there's a lot of peer pressure, a lot of things that's going on. It's like definitely a change. So you definitely have to like find ways to like find your group or find your crowd. What most people say. And even if you can't find your crowd, just be you and just get your stuff done and do your work and make sure like you have also more support that you need for yourself.
I would say one thing I can give my younger self advice I would say not to freak out so much. Not to make problems bigger than what they are or make it seem like crazy, because it's really not. Like when I first walked in the building, 9th grade, first day of 9th grade, I just made everything bigger than what it was. Like, I freaked myself out about the building being big, the hallways being big, and that's what happened. I freaked myself out.
I felt like if I reached out for too much help, then I felt like I was needy. I felt like I was enabling myself too much. But these are people that want to help you. So I feel like you should go to them because they want to help you. And they're not going to help you unless you reach out to them. And then if they do reach out to you, then take the help because this is their job. And they just want to see you do better. They don't want to see you fail.
Sure, teachers give us like a paper saying, okay, what did you do over the summer, what did you do this, but it's not usually a lot to know about the student. So if teachers can have that right off the back, know who their students are, what they do outside of school, maybe some things they went through their life, challenges, stuff like that. I feel like then that would be like a good way for teachers to have a better connection with students.
Have patience. Like the advice that I would give teachers and counselors, just have patience because sometimes it's not easy for the students to come and tell you stuff or ask for help because we don't want to feel stupid, we don't want to feel dumb. So it's like when we do, just be patient with us and like help us any way you can.
Advice, I would say understand where students come from because we all don't have it good. So students not going to learn the same way. It may take more time for certain students to learn.